I'm Jason. The world is yours, and today we have a story about Max Cavalera on the reactivated band Pantera. Quote, "It's a little bit strange they call it Pantera," unquote. It should be called some kind of tribute to Pantera, is what Max Cavalera says. Okay, that's interesting. The reactivation, I don't know where they use the word reactivation. I would say reformation, regroup of Pantera seems to be an eternally divisive topic in metal, while some folks are cool with the lineup of former Pantera band mates Rex Brown and Phil Anselmo hitting the road with Black Label Society's Zach Wild and Anthrax drummer Charlie Benante. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Others feel it's not right without Dimebag Darrell and Vinnie Paul. That's interesting. In an interview, um, in an interview with Rock in an interview with Rock interview series, Soulfly's frontman Max Cavalera reveals he feels a little uneasy about the band using the name Pantera. Max says he understands that fans are stoked to see the band again and that it's not like it's just one former member on stage, but maybe they should have called it some kind of tribute to Pantera. Um, right? It should be. There's two side. There's two sides for that, right? Says Calvera. It's so tough because on one hand, I understand that the fans want to see it, and you still have somewhat a big part of the band, somewhat a big part, but you are missing two key elements on the brothers that's irreplaceable in my eyes. Okay, that's fine. I can respect that. So it's tough. It's really tough. That's interesting. The only thing that maybe it's a little bit strange they call it Pantera. It should be called some kind of tribute to Pantera. I think I would have been a little bit more I mean, I think it would have been a little bit more of a tribute to those songs in that era because I don't think it's Pantera without the brothers. Okay. Let me see. On the topic on whether or not the current iteration of Pantera should be called such, the drummer Charlie Benante, I can't pronounce his name. Charlie, the drummer from Anthrax, recently discussed how he feels as a member of the band and on receiving on the receiving end of criticisms. In an interview with Knotfest, Charlie said he put in the work over the years to get to this point in his career and doesn't really understand all the judgment from fans. I guess Max isn't the only one saying this. There's one thing I noticed that still makes me scratch my head. I don't think I've ever been so judged in my life by people. I don't understand. People can be really rotten. I don't think they have the ears or the eyes that most people do, and they're so judgmental about it. It's like, let it go, you know what I mean? Don't personally attack me or Zach for something that you have inside of you. You have a problem with something, and it's like you got to find some way that is somewhat okay. I've been doing this for over 40 years. Don't judge me. If I didn't do my homework, then judge me. But if I did my homework, if I did my homework and if something is off somewhere, is that the thing that you pick on? You don't pick on 95% of the other stuff where pretty much I try to stay as accurate as possible. Okay, let's go back to the Max Cavalera opinion. I don't think it's really criticism. You know, I 1000% respect Max Cavalera opinion. Obviously, he has the right to have an opinion about, you know, the band. And, you know, his opinion is, hey, without Dimebag Darrell and Vinnie Paul, that, you know, they shouldn't be maybe not that it shouldn't, but maybe it should have been a tribute to Pantera or something like that. Personally, I normally don't even give my personal opinions in these stories. I just like to get into the story. But personally, from what I've seen, and every story is different. We've had bands who the lead singer has left and they've kept the name. We've had bands where the lead singer leaves and it's just like we know it's not the same band. So I can't say I've always had the idea that if as long as the lead singer's still in the band shouldn't have to change their name. Obviously, Phil Anselmo is the lead singer of Pantera. So personally, my opinion on this story is I don't have a problem with Rex Brown, who was in the original iteration of Pantera, and Phil Anselmo still running around with that, because singers, they normally get like writing credit and things like that, which is why they could still use some of these songs without being sued, and why they could still use the name. So personally, I'm totally fine with this band, Pantera. They've just reformed. They've had so much like heat and criticism since reforming and doing this concert, this reunion tour. It hasn't been all sunshines and rainbows. They've gotten a lot of to say the least. They got a lot of criticism. I've heard a lot of years people wanted to see Pantera get back together, but since they've gotten back together the last few weeks, they've definitely been put through the grinder, and people are definitely taking shots at this band, at this iteration of Pantera. But like I said, I have no problem with this iteration of Pantera being called Pantera. I know I can't see it's not a great example because Sublime, like they basically right now go by Sublime with Rome, and right that has been the name for like almost 20 years. They've been like with Rome, I think longer than the original lead singer, but they're still going with Sublime with Rome. I don't think Pantera needed to do that. I'm totally fine with this band being called Pantera. Let me know your opinion of this story. Do you agree with Max Cavalera that Pantera should have, been like a tribute to Pantera or something like that compared to just being called Pantera? I'm on the side of now they could keep that name. Max Cavalera, his opinion respectfully is that it should have been called like a tribute to Pantera without Dimebag Darrell and Vinnie Paul. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the $1 donation button, and please tune in to the next video on this channel. Thanks a million for watching.